What's going on, Mystik Souls? On June 29th, 2026, the Mercury Retrograde in Cancer presents a rare and potent astrological double whammy. In mundane astrology, the study of world events and the collective, this alignment creates a tense tug-of-war between the home and private life and the state and public structure. Cancer rules the homeland, ancestors, and domestic security. Expect a collective revisitation of historical narratives or national origin stories. This isn't just about facts, it's about how those facts feel to the populace. On a mundane level, Cancer governs the roof over our heads. We may see major delays, miscommunications, or redoing of policies regarding real estate, housing markets, or domestic borders. Communication becomes leaky. Information may be leaked through emotional outbursts or sentimental appeals rather than hard data. While Mercury is pulling our attention toward the past and the private, the full moon in Capricorn acts as a cold, bright spotlight on the system. Accountability of leadership. Capricorn rules the establishment, government hierarchies, and large corporations. A full moon here brings a climax or a breaking point to structures that are no longer sustainable. The father versus the mother. The archetypal tension between the nurturer and the authority peaks. We may see public debates regarding state-funded care, parental leave, or the government's role in protecting the family unit. Economic contraction. Capricorn is the sign of a scarcity and pragmatism. This full moon could signal a bottoming out or a moment of reckoning regarding national debts or long-term financial planning. What to expect? When you combine a Mercury retrograde station with a full moon on the same day, the energy is volatile and highly reactive. The nostalgia trap. Leaders may use nostalgic or patriotic rhetoric to distract from harsh structural or economic realities. The collective may find itself caught between a desire to return to the way things were and the undeniable evidence that the old systems are crumbling. The breakdown of formalism. Professional boundaries may be crossed by personal grievances. In the public eye, we might see a professional figure lose their cool or be forced to address a private scandal that impacts their public authority. Key dates for the collective. June 12th, pre-retrograde shadow begins, the first whispers of the upcoming tension. June 29th, the peak, emotional and structural high tide. July 12th, Mercury Kazemi, the aha moment where a secret or a solution is revealed in the heart of the retrograde. July 23rd, Mercury stations direct, movement begins, but the Capricorn full moon's lessons will have already changed the landscape. As we approach this date, watch for themes of renegotiating boundaries. The collective is being asked, how do we build a world that actually cares for its people? Let's break down the personal vibes for each sign. Stick around for the survival tips at the end because we're making it to the other side of this retrograde in one piece. Cancer. This Mercury retrograde in Cancer on June 29th is personal because it's happening in your first house. The retrograde isn't just affecting schedules, it's affecting identity. The way you see yourself, the way people perceive you, the story you've been telling yourself about who you are becoming. And with the full moon in Capricorn lighting up your seventh house of relationships on the same day, whew, this feels like the universe holding up a mirror and asking, are the people around you aligned with the version of yourself you're trying to grow into? Mercury retrograde in your first house can bring old emotions, old insecurities, and even old versions of yourself back to the surface. Some Cancers may reconnect with people from the past. Others may suddenly realize they've been shrinking themselves to keep certain relationships comfortable. So if a connection has been unbalanced, emotionally draining, or built on obligation instead of genuine support, this full moon can expose it. For some Cancer placements, this full moon solidifies commitment. It can bring defining conversations, relationship milestones, or clarity about who is truly dependable in your life. Survival tips for Cancer. To navigate this retrograde, treat your life like a soft launch. Since your first house is affected, avoid making drastic changes to your physical appearance. Now is not the time for a radical new haircut or a permanent tattoo. Instead, use this energy to revisit an old passion project. When communication gets wonky, lean into your natural intuition. If a conversation feels heavy, give yourself permission to say, I need to feel my way through this, rather than forcing a logical answer that isn't ready yet. By the end of this cycle, Cancer, you're learning that love should feel supportive, not like emotional survival mode. Virgo. Survival tip. Your close friends list is about to get a major audit. Mercury is glitching in your zone of networking and social squads, so expect some old friends to resurface or some group chat drama to peak. My advice, don't leave anyone on read just yet. Misunderstandings are high. Use this time to reconnect with your old tribe rather than trying to manifest a whole new squad. Full moon insight. This moon is shining a massive spotlight on your creative self-expression and your romantic life. If you've been all work and no play, the universe is forcing a vibe check. It's time to close the chapter on a creative project that's lost its spark, or a situationship that feels more like a chore than a crush. You're finally trading perfectionism for pure unscripted joy. Libra. Survival tip. Your career DMs are looking a little chaotic right now. With Mercury retrograde in your house of public image, a past professional opportunity might come back around, or a boss might misinterpret your vibe. Double check every email before you hit send, and keep your LinkedIn on private for a minute. If a work project stalls, it's just a sign to go back and refine the details. Full moon. Insight. While your career feels like a construction zone, the full moon is bringing a huge moment of finality to your home and family life. You might be wrapping up a move, a renovation, or a long-standing family dynamic. You're closing the book on trying to be everything to everyone at home so you can finally feel grounded in your own space. Scorpio. Survival tip. Check your flight status and your facts twice. Mercury is glitching in your zone of travel and big beliefs. If you're planning a getaway or a big launch, give yourself a huge buffer. For delays, it's a better time to reread a philosophy book than to preach a new one. Full moon insight. This moon is highlighting how you communicate with your immediate circle. A long-standing he said, she said is finally reaching a conclusion. You're closing the book on small-minded drama to make room for a much bigger perspective. Sagittarius. Survival tip. Money and merging get tricky here. Expect some "where did that subscription come from" moments. This is the time to audit your shared finances or deep emotional debts. Don't sign any new loan papers until Mercury goes direct. Just keep your eye on the receipts. Full moon insight. Financial clarity is coming. This moon illuminates your self-worth and your bank account. A major purchase or a job contract is wrapping up. The closure here is about moving away from financial survival mode and into a more structured, empowered state. Capricorn. Survival tip. It's X-File season for you, Cap. Mercury is retracing steps in your relationship sector. Misunderstandings with your plus one are likely. Instead of reacting, use this time to renegotiate the terms of your togetherness. Full moon insight. This is your moon. It's landing in your first house of identity. You're reaching a massive personal milestone. A version of old you is officially being retired. You're closing the chapter on who everyone else wants you to be, so you can step into your own authority. Aquarius. Survival tip. Your daily flow might feel more like a daily clog for a second. Mercury is messing with your schedules and tech at work. If your to-do list feels overwhelming, it's a sign to simplify, not work harder. Be kind to your body. It's extra sensitive right now. Full moon insight. This moon is shining a light on your behind-the-scenes world. You're being called to let go of a secret, a regret, or a self-sabotaging pattern. It's time to close the door on the ghosts of the past so you can show up fully in the present. Pisces. Survival tip. Your creative spark might feel more like a flicker right now, and that's okay. Mercury is retracing steps in your zone of fun, romance, and self-expression. An old hobby or a past flame might pop back into your notifications. Enjoy the trip down memory lane, but don't feel pressured to make it a permanent fixture. Full moon insight. This moon is illuminating your social circles and your big dreams. You might realize a certain group no longer aligns with your long term goals. You're closing the door on people pleasing to make room for your true tribe. Aries survival tip. Things are getting busy on the home front. Mercury is stirring up conversations regarding family roots or your physical living space. It's a great time to tackle that junk drawer, but maybe hold off on signing a new lease until the dust settles. Full moon insight. The spotlight is on your career and public reputation. A major professional project is reaching its climax. You're closing a chapter on playing small and stepping into the authority role you've worked so hard for. Taurus. Survival tip. Mind your send button, Taurus. Mercury is doing the moonwalk in your communication sector. Expect minor delays in your daily commute or a few lost in translation texts. The best use of this energy? Relearning a skill you once loved. Full moon insight. This moon is expanding your horizons. A journey, a course of study, or a legal matter is wrapping up. You've learned what you needed to learn here. It's time to close the book on an old belief system that was limiting your growth. Gemini. Survival tip. Since Mercury is your ruling planet, you feel this more than most. It's hanging out in your money zone, so keep a close eye on your wallet. Avoid impulsive therapy shopping. Instead, use this time to reevaluate your budget and find hidden gems you already own. Full moon insight. This is a powerful moment for transformation and shared resources. You're reaching a settlement phase, whether that's financial or emotional. You're closing the chapter on old debts, finally feeling even and ready for a fresh start. Leo. Survival tip. Your subconscious is about to get loud. Mercury is doing the moonwalk in your 12th house of secrets and mental health, meaning your dreams are going to be wild and your social battery is going to be low. My advice, do not ignore your body when it asks for a timeout. Unplug, put your phone on, do not disturb, and stop trying to force yourself to be the life of the party when you really just need a nap. Full moon insight. This moon hits your house of health and routines. If you've been burning the candle at both ends, the universe is handing you a stop sign. It is time to close the chapter on a bad habit or a chaotic work schedule. Clarity comes when you prioritize your well-being over your hustle. Collective message. Don't be afraid of the redos or the goodbyes that happen right now. You are being asked to build something that lasts, and that requires a marriage between Cancer's intuition and Capricorn's discipline. Be gentle with your words, but firm with your boundaries. We are all learning that the strongest structures in the world are the ones built on a foundation of emotional honesty. Trust the process, keep your receipts, and remember, you aren't falling behind. You're just making sure the path ahead is solid.